Dhanvantaye Namaha. Our salutations to Dhanvantari, the god of medicine, who delivered to all of us Amrit, the nectar of immortality, in the form of Ayurveda. Known as the fifth Veda and even sister science to yoga, Ayurveda is one of the most ancient health sciences in the world. Natural, holistic, preventive, curative, quick, and most importantly, free of any harmful side effects. Ayurveda has gained immense popularity since the 1960s and especially since the COVID pandemic. Being an integral part of the Vedic Sanskriti, here at Sharada Prabha, we teach Ayurveda as part of our curriculum. We empower students with practical tips and techniques from the science of Ayurveda to live a healthy life, to live a life free from disease and stress. Enjoy this series on Ayurveda for kids.
Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha Acharya.
So welcome to our first session on Ayurveda for kids. Are you all excited?
Yes.
Okay. So before we begin, let's offer a prayer to Lord Dhanvantari. Dhanvantari Bhagwan. Mahendrasya prasadena grihitva amrita kumbhakam dhanvantarim samudrotham prithivyam samupagatam vividaushadhidataram deva vaidyam namamyaham sarvaroga vinashaya pratishtotra bhava prabhu. So as you see, Dhanvantari Bhagwan, you all know the story. He came out of the samudra, of the ocean, when the churning of the ocean was done. And what does he have in his hand, in the pot?
Amrit.
Amrit Kalash, yeah? It's a pot of nectar. So we pray to him that he blesses us with health. So when we talk of Ayurveda, you know what the meaning of Ayurveda is? It is made of two words, Ayuhu and Veda, right? Ayuhu and Veda. So Veda is knowledge and Ayuhu is longevity or lifespan. So what kind of a lifespan do you want to have? Long and healthy or diseased and short?
Long and healthy.
Everyone wants a long and healthy life. So what is the opposite of health? What is the opposite of health? Disease, right? Have you ever experienced disease or sickness? Yes? So tell me one problem that you've had. Fever. Anything else?
Cough.
Cough, yes.
Vomiting.
Vomiting. Pain anywhere? Has anyone experienced any pain? Where have you experienced pain?
In my life.
In your legs. Okay, so pain in the legs. So many problems. So that's disease. So that's absence of health. So would you like to know the secret so that you can maintain your health and not have any of these problems? You want to know the secret? Okay. So let's begin with a story. Can you hear the birds chirping? So once upon a time, very, very long ago, thousands of years ago, there was Maharishi Charak. Have you heard of his name? Charak Maharishi? No. He was a great rishi. So Maharishi Charak. And he was a very, very great Vaidya. And he was also a rishi. So he had many students who were studying medicine, who were training to become Ayurvedic doctors, Vaidyas. So one day he wanted to test them. So what he did, he took on the form of a pigeon. He could change his body form. So he became a pigeon and he sat on the branch of a tree. And have you seen pigeons? What do they do? Have you seen that? Yeah. So he was doing that and he said, Koruk, Koruk, Koruk. So the students, they were wondering, what is this sound coming? Where is it coming from? What is this? And then they looked and then they saw this beautiful pigeon sitting on the branch of the tree and he was saying, Koruk, Koruk, Koruk. So what is Koruk? Do you see the question mark there? So Koruk is actually Kaha Aruk. In Sanskrit, it joins to form Koruk. That is, who is healthy? So he asked it 3 times. Who is healthy? Who is healthy? Who is healthy? So then all the students, the medical students who are studying Ayurveda, they start discussing amongst themselves. Someone says, someone who drinks this kara every morning, he's healthy. And the other person says, no, if you eat chawanprash, you are healthy. And so they keep arguing and discussing like this. So finally, the brightest student, that is Bagh Bhatt, he's a very good Vaidya, and he has also written a book on Ayurveda, so which is called Ashtang Hridayam. So he says, I know what is the answer. So that is the secret to a healthy life. That is, who is healthy. So he's going to give us the secret. Do you want to know the secret?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we'll keep it as a suspense for some time. And then in the end, maybe you can try and guess. So let's begin with the prayer that we all chant before our meal time. Right? So, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah Pranapan Samayuktah Pachamyannam Chaturvidham. So, does anyone know the meaning of this verse, which is from the Bhagavad Gita, the 15th chapter? Yes?
Lord Krishna says, I am from Agni in every living thing, and I digest food.
Excellent. So Lord Krishna says that I become the Jatharagni or the Vaishvanar Agni in all living beings, and I digest the 4 types of food. So what are the 4 types of food? There are foods, they're called Bhaksham, Peyam, Choshyam and Layam. So Bhaksham is foods that you have to chew before you swallow them. Peyam is foods that you drink. Choshyam is the foods that you suck on. And Layam is foods that you lick. So would any of you like to give me any examples of these foods? Something that you have to chew before you swallow. Yes?
Chapatis.
Chapatis, yes. So you have to chew on the chapatis. Do you ever just gulp them down without swallowing? Sometimes you do. When you're in a rush. Do you or no? Never? Oh, that's excellent. So then what's the next category of food? Those you drink, like foods that you can drink from a cup. Any examples? Yes?
Tea.
Tea. Tea is not a very good thing to drink, but yes, it comes under Peyam.
Milk.
Milk, yes. So these are things that you can drink. Then what about things that you suck on?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Do you think Bhagwan Krishna would have thought of ice cream when he said that 4 types of foods is something to suck on? Would you have thought of ice cream? Anything else that you can suck on?
Makhan.
Makhan. You suck it like that?
No.
So what would you suck? There's one long,
Banana.
yes, sugarcane. So that's something you suck on. And then there's certain things that you lick. So what you said is something you lick. What is that?
Makhan.
Makhan, butter. What else?
Shrikhand.
Shrikhand, yes. What else? What you eat with pakoras, something you dip it in and you lick it.
Chutney.
Chutney, yeah, so sauces. So these are the 4 types of food that Lord Krishna has described. So he says that I digest all these 4 types of food. And how do I digest? By being the Vaishvanar Agni. So now let us understand how this happens. So first of all, why do you eat food? Can anyone tell me why you eat food? Yes?
For live.
To live, yes. What does the food give you?
To grow.
To grow, excellent. So when you're little and then slowly as you keep growing, your height increases, your weight increases. So the food is required for growth. What else?
Strength.
Very good. For strength. So for all your activities, to play, to run, to write, to think, to study, you need energy. So food gives you energy and to perform all your functions, and also food is required for growth. So that's why we eat food. But does the food, how does it get converted into the body? So we eat, what do you know this diagram? You know what this is? What is this?
Mid. Mid.
No, here. This tube here. Yes?
Pipe.
Food pipe. Excellent. And so this is from the mouth. It begins here. This is the mouth. And then the food pipe. It's also called the esophagus. And then what is this big bag-like structure? Yes?
Stomach.
Very good. This is the stomach. And then what is these loops here?
Intestine.
Is this the small intestine or the large intestine?
Small intestine.
And what about the one around here? This one?
Large intestine.
Large intestine. You know this tiny structure here? Yes?
Appendix.
Very good. This is the appendix. And then what about this opening here?
Rectum.
Yes, it is the rectal opening, the anus. So when we eat food, it goes into the esophagus, that is the food pipe, and then it comes here in the stomach, and then into the small intestine, large intestine, and then finally it comes out. So is the form different? What you take in and what comes out? What you take in from this end and what comes out from this end, does it look similar or does it look different?
Different.
Different? So if you eat a gulab jamun, does it come out like a gulab jamun? No. Okay. So there's something inside. So have you seen your mothers cook? Have you seen them cook? Yeah. So when they cook, they take rice and maybe some peas and some spices and they put it all into a pot and cook it. And then you get very tasty pulao or khichdi, right? So it's very different from what it was to begin with, correct? And you can eat that. In the same way, for the body to be able to utilize what we eat, it has to be cooked inside. So what is the thing that cooks inside? You see, what is this? You see, is it water or is it, what is it? Fire, yes. So this is fire. So just like you cook in a pot and you have to have fire to transform that food into something that's edible, in the same way, there's a fire inside our bodies which digests the food and makes it into a form which can be utilized by all the body tissues. So, what is digested here in the stomach, then it goes into the small intestine where further digestion takes place, and then finally the essence of that, the juice of that which is digested gets absorbed. You know what is absorbed? Like if I put some ink on a cotton cloth or a piece of blotting paper, it absorbs, it drinks up all the ink. So that's absorption. So food which is digested here, first in the stomach and then in the small intestine, it gets absorbed inside. It gets absorbed. And what does it form? It forms our body tissues. So there are 7 body tissues which are called the Sapta Dhatu. You know what is Sapta? What is Sapta? Yes? 7. Excellent. So there are 7 body tissues according to Ayurveda. So the first tissue that is formed from the digested food is called Rasa Dhatu. Then there is Rakta Dhatu. The Rasa Dhatu forms the Rakta Dhatu. The Rakta Dhatu forms the Mans Dhatu. And Mans forms Meda. Meda forms Asthi. Asthi forms Majja. And Majja forms Shukra. So this happens sequentially in this order. So just like the digestive fire transforms the food that we eat into a simple form which can be absorbed by the body and can be used to form Rasa Dhatu. So that fire which does that transformation is called Jathar Agni. It is the Agni in the Jathar. Jathar means stomach. So the Agni or the fire in the stomach is the digestive fire and it is called the Jathar Agni. So that transforms the food that we eat into Rasa Dhatu. Now each Dhatu has an Agni. Just like the Jathar had an Agni to transform the food into Rasa Dhatu, each tissue or Dhatu, the 7 tissues have an Agni which transform that tissue into the next tissue. So that's called these are the Dhatus. So the Agni which is present in the Dhatus is called the Dhatvagni. So the Dhatvagni of the Rasa Dhatu converts Rasa Dhatu into Rakta Dhatu. Very good. And the Dhatvagni of the Rakta Dhatu converts Rakta into Mas Dhatu and so on. Correct? So if you want to have a healthy body and if you want the body to grow, your muscles have to grow. So you know the Rasadhatu is like the fluid in the body. In the blood, there's a fluid. So that is part of Rasadhatu. Then you know what Rakta is? Do you know what Rakta is? What is Rakta? Yes, blood. So then we need blood in the body. Then we need, what is Mas? Yes?
Skin.
No.
Muscle.
Muscle, yes, Mas is muscle. Then you have Med, which is fat. We all need some fat. It's not good to be very fat, but you need some fat. If you don't have any fat in the body, then you'll just be like skin and bones, right? So you need some fat. So if all these tissues should be in balance. If they're not in balance, then it causes disease. So then you need fat, and then what is that? What is asthi? Bones, yeah. So for your bones to be healthy and strong, so that you don't have pain in your legs and your height increases, you need healthy asthi dhatu. And then what is there after that? Majja. That is our nerves and also our bone marrow. So what is that diagram? Brain. Do you all have a brain?
Yes.
Yes? Sure? Okay. So we have a very sharp brain. So this, for the sharpness of the brain and for our nerves to be strong, we need to have healthy majja dhatu. And then finally it forms shukra, which is the reproductive fluid, which creates new babies. Okay? So these are 7 tissues which are formed in the body when the food is digested. So what is the Agni which digests the food? What is it called?
Jatharagni.
Jatharagni, very good. And which is the Agni in the dhatus which transforms one dhatu into the next dhatu? Dhatwagni. Okay? The Agni of the dhatus is called Dhatwagni. Right? Okay. So now, let us think. In this prayer, we prayed, right? That Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. So now, why do you pray before food? Yes?
To give Lord food.
Yes, we offer the food. Very good. We offer food to God because what we have received is from Him, but we offer it back to Him as a mark of gratitude, or we're thankful for the food, right? Because there's so many children in the world who don't get food to eat. Do you know? Have you seen such children who probably just get one meal a day, or sometimes they don't even get one meal a day. So we are grateful that we get this food, and so we thank Him, and so we offer the food to God and then take it as prasad, and we are offering our thanks. So if this is prasad, should we respect it, or can we criticize it, or can we waste it?
Yes.
We have to respect it, right? So what is the other shloka you sing in your prayers? Brahmarpanam.
Brahmavate Brahmana Brahmanahutam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina.
Yes. So that which is being offered, the food is Brahma. It's God. And Agni, Brahmagnav. What is the Agni? That is also God. Because Bhagavan Krishna says that I am the Agni. I am the Vaishvanar Agni. So the person eating is also God. The person digesting is also God. And what we are eating is also God. So we have to be very respectful. So if we criticize food, if like we don't like to eat something, and if our mother serves it to us, so will we say, "Chee, I don't want to eat this, I don't like it." So if we do that, are we criticizing food? No?
Yes.
If we say, "Chee, I don't like it,"
Yes.
we're criticizing food. So that's not good, because food is God, and food is what makes us live. So we cannot criticize food. And then can we waste food? Can we take more than what we can eat and then just throw it in the compost pit? No. So we cannot waste food. We cannot criticize food, because food is God. And because the Agni is also God, so we are offering food to God. We are offering God to God, right? So if the Agni is also God. So if you're offering bhog to say Bhagwan Dhanvantari or Bhagwan Krishna, will you offer anything that's not clean or which is not pure? No. So you have to offer the best to Him. So in the same way, we are feeding the God within us. So will we feed it with street food or junk food?
No.
No? So we can't feed God with junk food, right? And what about, so it's like doing a puja actually. It's worship of God, the God that dwells within us. When we feed ourselves, we're actually worshipping God. So when you're worshipping God, you've done pujas before, right? Have you done puja? Yes. You did the Rudrabhishek. So when you're doing a puja, where is your focus?
In Lord.
Yes, we're focusing on the deity, on God. Are you like looking at the phone, maybe watching your Cartoon Network, and then you'd say, okay, swaha, padyam samarpayami, ding ding ding. No, so you can't do that. So your full focus is on God, on that activity, on the puja. So similarly, when you're eating, how many times do you watch cartoon while eating? No, that's excellent. If you don't watch cartoon, that's very good. And then, do you talk to your friends while doing the puja? Om Padyam Samarpayami. Hey, what are you doing in the evening? We'll come and play badminton today, okay? Om Hasayu Argyam Samarpayami. You do that? No. So, similarly, do you talk when you're eating? Yes. So, is it respectful for that Agni inside, which is God? We're offering bhog to the God within, and we are offering God. So, is it a respectful act if we keep talking in the middle, or watch TV, or watch a cartoon? No. So we have to eat with full focus. So the shloka is Tan mana bhunjitha. Bhunjitha means eat. Eat with full focus, with your whole man, with your whole mind. So what will all this do if we eat with full focus and we don't talk, we don't watch TV, and we are respectful, we are grateful for the food we eat? So what will happen? Our digestion will become better. Okay. So what are you focusing on when you said that you have to focus on eating food and not on cartoon, not focus on your friends. So what are you actually focusing on when you're eating?
Chewing.
Very good. So you're chewing. So you have to be mindful that you have to chew the food well, because bhaksham is the foods that you, what is bhaksham?
Chew.
The foods that you chew, like chapatis. So you can't gulp them down like payam. It's not like milk or water that you can just gulp it down without chewing, right? So you have to chew your food. And so you have to be very mindful that you chew your food well and chew it to the degree that it forms a very fine paste. So it becomes like a paste, so that when you, in case, if you ever vomit, you should not be able to identify the different food particles. Have you ever vomited? Everyone? Yes. So have you been able to identify like rice grains or tomato skin, right? So, or dal particles,
Yes.
right? So what does that mean? That you've not chewed enough. So you should chew to the extent that it forms a fine paste. Do we have teeth in our intestines here? Do we have teeth here?
No.
Or are they in the mouth?
In the mouth.
Right? But if you don't chew, that means you assume that there are teeth inside and they will do the chewing, right? So you have to chew very well, correct? So you chew and then you eat and you're respectful. And how do we sit? Do we sit or do we stand? Or do we eat while we're walking? Have you seen people like they just take a sandwich and they walk and they're chewing and they're eating? Have you seen that?
Yes.
You seen that in movies? Do you do it yourself?
No.
No? And how do you sit? You sit on the table or where do you sit?
In the man.
On the floor, yes. So it helps digestion. When you sit cross-legged like you're sitting now on the floor, it helps because it concentrates the energy here, right? Near the navel. That's where the small intestines are. And it helps digestion, correct? So we are focusing not only on the chewing, but also on how much you eat. How much do you eat? Do you eat like to your full capacity till here? And have you ever experienced that when there's something very tasty to eat, that you eat so much that you feel like you're full till here and then it's difficult for you to get up from the seat? Have you ever felt that?
Yes.
Yes? Yeah. So that means you have overeaten. So you eat slowly and be mindful so that as soon as you feel satisfied, you stop eating. You don't eat to the degree that now I'm full and I cannot.
Ma'am, if we take food and our stomach is full and food is left, so what we can do?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So if you've taken more food on your plate than what you can consume, what do? Yeah, that happens sometimes, and even if you go to someone's house and you're a guest, so the host tries to be nice, tries to be hospitable and tries to feed you more. So you have to explain to them, I will ask for more food if I require. Let me have a little bit first, and whatever I like, I'll ask for seconds. So you ask them to serve you less. And in case you have been served too much food, then you should take it apart and then you can pack it and take it home and eat it later. But definitely you should not overeat. Right? So because we have to respect the fire within us. Am I clear? You have any questions? No? Okay. So, what digests the food in the intestine or in the stomach? What is digesting the food? Agni. So you know what Agni is? You can see a lamp here. Do you see Agni?
Yes.
So do we have a flame burning in our stomach like this? No. So what is the Agni in the form of? Let us, yes?
Enzyme.
Excellent. You know that. So it's in the form of enzymes. So let us see what enzymes are. We'll do a small experiment to demonstrate what enzymes actually do. So here I have some milk in this pot. Can you all see milk in the pot? Okay. So we put the milk to boil. And then now we have, what is this?
Papaya.
Yeah, it's a raw papaya, right? You can see that it's raw, it's green. So I took another raw papaya and I grated it, right? So I have some grated raw papaya here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to add the raw papaya to the milk. The raw papaya contains an enzyme which is called papain. So just like we have enzymes in our stomach, have you ever vomited? Yes? So when if you drink milk and vomit after that, what comes out? Does it look like milk? No. So what does it look like?
Curd.
It looks like curd or paneer, right? So there's an enzyme in our stomach which curdles the milk. It's called renin. And so what you vomit comes out like curd. So similarly, the milk is boiling, you can see. And I'll add some more raw papaya. So the enzyme in the raw papaya, which is called papain, will curdle the milk. And later you can come and see once it's done. So would you like to come and see? Can you see? It has curdled. You see the paneer and then you see that's a casein and then you see the water. So it has curdled. So you can go ahead. You can go this way. I think you come this way. Do you see? You see the paneer? Yeah. You see the paneer?
Yes.
So the milk has turned into paneer. This way. You see it? Yeah. You see the paneer? You see? What is the Agni in this? Is milk the Agni? Yes, Sonali, would you like to try? What is the Agni? The papaya, yes. The papain enzyme in the raw papaya is the Agni because that is what changes the milk into paneer. In the same way, the Agni here, Jataragni, changes the food we eat into Rasadhatu, right? So now we come to the suspense, to the secret that Vagbhat answered Charak, Maharishi Charak, right? So do you know the answer to this? Koruk, Koruk, Koruk. Who is healthy? Who is healthy? Who is healthy? Anyone wants to try? Yes?
When Agni is perfect.
Very good. When Agni is perfect. But he answered it in a different way. The answer is absolutely correct. When the Agni is perfect. So the next question is, when is the Agni perfect? How can you keep your Agni perfect?
When we have no arm.
When we have no arm, but how do you have no arm? Like, how do you ensure that the Agni is perfect?
Balance.
Balance of.
Digestion.
So how do you make sure that your digestion is balanced?
When we have the cash.
When you have a burp, then what do?
We have to stop eating.
Yes, we have to stop eating when you burp. You have to stop eating. That's one thing. Excellent. Anyone else? Can you, you know what he said? He said it in a rhyming way. Like when he said, Koruk, Koruk, Koruk. So what did he say? Hitabuk, Mitabuk, Ritabuk. You like it? Do you know the meaning of that? No? Okay, let me write it here. So Vagbhat said, Hitabuk, Mitabuk, Ritabuk. And Charak Rishi was very pleased. He said, yes, you're my best student. You've understood how to keep your Agni perfect. So what is Hit? What is Hit? Hit is Hitakari, which is beneficial, what is good. So Bhuk means, Bhuk is to eat. So when you eat things which are Hitakari, that is which are beneficial, you don't eat junk, you eat the right food, right? You eat pure, clean food which is good for you, then you're eating food and you qualify for Hitabhuk. And then second is Mitabhuk. Mita is little. So you eat little, that is you eat less than your full capacity. You don't overeat. You just eat enough to satisfy your hunger so that you're able to digest the food. And the third is Ritabhuk. You know the meaning of Rita? Rita means truth. So food that is earned by truthful means. When you're honest and hardworking and you earn your food and you don't steal and don't try to get food by wrong means, then that is Ritabhuk. When you earn your wealth in a noble way, that is in the right way, by not stealing, by not cheating people, when you earn your wealth in that way and you get your food in that way, and you eat food that is beneficial for your body, and you eat in less quantity, then you remain healthy, because then your Agni remains bright. Okay? So what is the mantra you learned today? Hitabhuk, Mitabhuk, Ritabhuk. So can we say it all together? Hitabhuk, Mitabhuk, Ritabhuk.